America, this is a message from Daryl Christopher. Now, I'm a Canadian, but I love all Americans, except for the evil ones. And I have to tell you, the worst choice you could possibly make that would pave the road for hell to rule on earth would be if you voted Hillary into the presidency. Now, I know that there's a real push on for a woman to become president in the States, but she is not a woman. She is ice cold and she is evil, and she doesn't care about other women. She only cares about herself and her self-interest. I mean, it's obvious that her entire marriage is based on political ambition rather than love. And would you really trust a woman who was fine with another woman wrapping her mouth around the member of her husband and squirting all over her dress and living with that as if it was just another day at the office? Come on. This woman is deeply connected with the billionaire class. The Muslim Brotherhood has her hooks into her, and the worst choice you could possibly make will be electing Hillary. Just because she's a woman, you think as a woman she cares about other women? She only cares about herself, and it's obvious in everything she does. And I can tell you that from being a practice observer of America. I think if you really want a president who's not going to be incompetent, who's not going to be self-interested, who's not going to take the country into the wrong direction, then your choice is obvious. Either you vote for Trump or you vote for Bernie Sanders. And I think that either way, you're going to be far better off than if you voted for that ice-cold evil queen that is Hilary Clinton. Trust me, that's the worst choice you can make. We don't want America to have another failed presidency and the world end up being even more of a mess after Bush and Obama, who were complete train wrecks, failures, incompetent, and pathetic, and have destroyed much in the world. Look at how destabilized the Middle East is when you know that Russia has to step up and bring stability to the region because the US is weak and incompetent, yet it has the greatest military force and says the state of the nation is strong. Do you really believe that? When every country in the world is bringing out their claws because America has suddenly become weak and not acting anymore as the military dominant power of the world? Come on. If we have to accept America under Hillary, I think Canada's best interest is to seek an alliance with the European Union, Russia, and China, and to contain America, even to the point where we might have to combine military forces in order to keep America for continuing wrongdoings upon the earth. You look at your alliances with Saudi Arabia and Iran and other evil regimes that want nothing but to destroy Western civilization and society, and yet Hillary is fine with all that. You look at what happened with Benghazi, with all that is done behind the scenes with the Muslim Brotherhood misleading the leaders of America into bad choices and ideas that only kill innocent people in the Middle East and lead to war without end in a region that could advance and finally move beyond extremism and join the rest of the human race in terms of evolution and moving beyond hate and living for death? Is that what you really want, America? Is 4 more years of that? 8 more years of destruction? 8 more years of everyone hating America? Like, say what you will about Trump, but at least he's honest. I imagine that if he is president, he's not going to go with some of the zanier ideas that he's just put out there for media attention. I think he'd be very much like Ronald Reagan, and I think he really would restore the economy. And if you're not into the Republican right-wing kind of guys, then he's not even one of those guys. He wants to reform the tax system and make it simpler. He wants to end government waste. He wants to stop bowing to foreign countries taking jobs away from North America and make America great again. And if you don't like that, then my endorsement is for Bernie Sanders all the way. That guy is awesome. He's basically taken a grassroots movement to do the right thing for America. He is not controlled by the big banks or Wall Street. He's not controlled by special interests. He is just on a course to save America and save the rest of the world. I think universal healthcare plan, that's important. Ending prisons for profit, where you have a de facto slave labor race and entrench racism into society by prisons being filled with black people for non-violent drug offenses, and you treat a medical issue as a criminal issue, and you enslave people and keep them in prison so that corporations can grow rich after keeping people in the most punishing and suffering and hurtful of conditions. Is that okay? America, it's time to evolve. It's time to move on beyond judging people based upon their skin trait. Who cares? We live in an age of genetics. We value strength, endurance, intelligence, creativity. Skin color does not matter. That's an obsolete train of thought. Get over your racism, America. Do the right thing. And the fact is that we need a strong America. We need America to have a good leader. So if you're into Bernie Sanders, who cares if he's a socialist? Every country should have universal health care. Every country should take care of its own citizens. Every country should not have prisons for profit where they're overpopulated. Did you realize that you have in prison more people than the Soviet Union ever did, and they were supposedly the evil empire? Who is truly the land of the free? Who is truly telling the truth? Come on, America. It's time to grow beyond where you are and take a greater role in saving the world rather than leaving a path of destruction everywhere with leaders who are controlled by Wall Street and special interests and money, rather than doing the right thing, doing the noble thing, doing things to make the world a better place for all, where human beings of all creed and all cultures can be united as one under a global government, and America has a place within that government. So why keep on the path of failure, incompetence, and destruction just because you want the first woman to become president? Hillary is not a woman just because she has a vagina. Hillary is evil. Every time I look at her, all I see is lies and deception and half-truths, and she has nothing to offer. All she cares about is who bankrolls who gives her political power. She doesn't care about the American people. At least Trump's honest. He might say ridiculous things from time to time. He might be bombastic, but I think he genuinely cares about America. And certainly Bernie Sanders cares about America, where he's trying to do the right thing to make America a respectable and honorable country again. 8 years of failures, incompetence, and destruction. We are sick of America doing the wrong thing. And let's finally end all the wrongs that America is inflicting upon the earth and the world and the citizens of earth, and finally make a change, a real change, America. And you're not going to have it with Hillary. It's going to be 4 more years of the same, 8 more years if you vote her in again, and it's just going to be another disaster, more debt, more going in the wrong direction, more people ganging up on America to bring you down. If you vote in Bernie Sanders, if you vote in Trump, then America has a chance to be respectable again, to be honorable, to be a country that other nations look up to rather than a nation to despise. And believe me, in Canada, we will be watching. And if Hillary gets in, we will do everything in our power to make sure that America does not continue on its destructive path with the world, no matter what alliances we have to make and what we have to do. Because Canada may not have the biggest military, but imagine what we can do if we're pushed. We are a nation that have won world wars. We have maintained an empire. We have maintained a commonwealth. We have brought enlightened thoughts and ideas to the world. And we will not accept an America that is leading the world straight down the path to hell. Don't vote for Hillary, America. Do the right thing. If you like Trump, vote him in. If you like Bernie Sanders, I think being more of a progressive guy, even though I like less taxes, I'm more inclined to think that, a few videos back I made a video that I'd vote for Donald Trump. But I think when my time would come, if I was American, to put my vote in at the ballot box, I'd vote for Bernie Sanders, and I'd do the right thing, because I want America to be a good country, a country of conscience, a country that every nation on earth will view as heroic, brave, and beautiful, and a country that does the right thing, that really cares about its citizens and ends wrongs that have been going on for far too long. I believe that either Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders can do it, but I think that Bernie Sanders, I give him the edge. I think that Hillary would be the worst choice ever for America, so don't do it. If you want to do the right thing, America, I say you got to go with anyone but Hillary, because she's evil. Don't do it. Thank you.